Been a little bit since I last yammered about things, so I wanted to do something of an update and talk about recent events. And today is kind of a special day for the world of depression and mental illness as a whole. Today is the day that marks the anniversary of Robin Williams' suicide. And while I don't want to talk about Robin Williams, I do want to briefly talk about the way that his death affected the stigma that surrounds suicide and mental illness and depression and anxiety. I feel like the internet has really gone through a shift in how it sees people with mental illness, or rather, I feel like people with mental illness, depression, and anxiety, and chronic anything have really taken to the internet as a form of therapy and a way to find each other and form communities of support. And those communities have really begun kind of their own outreach program to enlighten the rest of the world about what it is to live with things like depression and anxiety and chronic conditions. This is important because when you have things that you can't see wrong with you, it's like carrying an invisible, awful thing around on your back. And if you tried to tell somebody about this invisible, awful thing, they'd think you were crazy. And crazy is the stigma. Crazy is the key word here. We all try to act normal. We all try to act like everything's fine because we want things to be fine. I'm depressed. I don't want to talk about my depression all the time. I don't want to feel depressed all the time. But I'm severely depressed. I'm in pain. I have chronic pain. I don't want to talk about my pain all the time, but it's there, and I live with it, and it's horrible. I have negative thoughts, sometimes suicidal thoughts, but that doesn't mean that I can't smile. And these are important things that I think that we learned from Robin Williams' death, and I think that we embraced as a society when that all happened. So hopefully this trend of acceptance and education and awareness will continue, and hopefully it means that we will continue to get more help to those who need it and recognize symptoms in our friends, family, and loved ones sooner so that we can prevent unnecessary losses. And hopefully it means that we'll all feel a little happier sooner rather than later as well. I hope that it means that we'll develop better treatments and get more medications to the market and get the horrible medications off the market and stop over-medicating in general. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. As somebody who suffers from depression, and as somebody who has suicidal thoughts, and as somebody who has attempted suicide twice, I felt like it was necessary to talk about what today is really about. It's not about Robin Williams. I don't like the fact that he's portrayed as this sad clown and that people make memes and have made all this digital art about him. I felt like as an actor he had really faded out of the spotlight. The last thing he did was kind of a crappy show with Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, yeah, he's done some great movies and some cult hits, but I don't think you should be famous for dying. And I don't think you should be famous for killing yourself. And I don't think that's what he wanted. So, if he's famous for changing the conversation about suicide and depression, okay, I'll accept that. But let that be the conversation and not just, oh, I miss Robin Williams so much. You didn't know Robin Williams. None of us did. We weren't his friends or his family. So, knock it off, internet. You're being silly. New topic. My brain hates me, which is me. I'm the one with the hateful brain. Let's just go ahead and clear that up. If you didn't know already, pink hair, brain, hates me. Yeah. I have become a delegate for an organization called The Power of Pain. And I'm really excited about it. This is not some special thing that bloggers who are in pain can do. This is something that anybody can do. If you suffer from a chronic condition or a neuropathological pain condition, or if you are a friend or a family member of somebody who suffers from pain, or a medical professional who works in the field of pain, then you can also become a delegate and help spread awareness and education in your community. And I really encourage you to do so. I will post a link somewhere down below, probably. There will definitely be a link down here in that general area, but I might pop something to the side. Jazz hands. But the Power of Pain organization does a couple of things that I find very admirable, and it's really why I applied to be a delegate. One of the most important things that they do is that they promote public and professional awareness of neuropathological chronic pain conditions. Having one of these, I find that important. My Brain Hates Me was a blog that I started to kind of bitch about my condition, and as an outlet to find other people who are like me. When I started the blog, there wasn't a lot of information about what was going on with my brain, and so I wanted to get any information that I gained out to the people, and it's allowed me to connect with people in a genuine way, and I really appreciate any comments that I've gotten and the emails that I've gotten and posts on my Facebook and tweets on my Twitter and everything. Anytime you guys reach out to me in any kind of way, I appreciate it, and it makes my day, and it makes staring at the computer screen long enough to write a blog worth it because it's painful, and it's definitely a labor of love, and so I appreciate you guys. But I don't feel like I'm really saving the world in any way. I'm just talking about my experience and the treatments that I go through, and hopefully the information that I get is useful to you in some way. But I'm not trying to teach you about treatments. I'm just talking about things that happen to me. And so the Power of Pain organization helps educate those who are afflicted with pain, and it gets information out there about new medications and things like that in a way that I can't do by myself. So teaming up with the Power of Pain organization is a way that I can do this, and it might allow me to do some public speaking or do some dedicated blogging or vlogging on their behalf, which is meaningful to me because it really makes me feel good to team up with a charity. They provide action-oriented public education and pain policy improvement and on a government level through different activities to eliminate the undertreatment of chronic pain and increase proper access to care. Lots of people don't receive the treatment that they need for their pain condition, and lots of people are overly pain medicated when they shouldn't be. And one of the things that I really like the Power of Pain organization does, and a lot of things I've seen on their Facebook lately, is information about pain medications that aren't habit forming. Opiates, opiates, things that come from the poppy, are addictive, and they are bad for us. And addictive painkillers are horrible. People with chronic pain don't want to take pain medication. Yeah, we don't want to be in pain, but we also don't want to be addicts. We aren't addicts. We aren't drug seekers. We just want to not feel in pain. We also don't want to be buzzed out of our mind all the time. We can't function like that. You cannot function on pain medication. You really can't. My doctors have instructed me not to take my pain medication more than 10 times a month, so I reserve it for emergency situations. I have rescue medication that is not pain medication that I take when I'm having a really, really high level day to get my levels down so that I can do other things to try and help myself. So, the the Power of Pain organization really stresses those kinds of treatments, and that's important, and it's near and dear to my heart. So I hope you'll check them out. I will have information posted about the organization down there, as well as how to become a delegate down there. So definitely visit them. You'll see things about them or posted, cross-posted from them on my Facebook and occasionally my blog. So please, by all means, check them out. They're a great foundation. Excuse me. Other things that are new, My Brain Hates Me t-shirts are in, and Monster Brain, la la la, and my boobs. Excuse my boobs. So, this is the Monster Brain. He has been through the wash several times. You can still get Monster Brain t-shirts on represent.com. They are still available. You just have to know where to go. I have links on my blog. If you just click on Help My Brain Hates Me Less on my blog, you can get there. There's going to be a link down below. Today is the vlog o links. Maybe I'll call it that. I don't know. So you can still get a t-shirt if you want one. They're very fashionable and very comfortable. I highly recommend the white tank top with the black My Brain Hates Me on it, because it's my favorite ever. I wear it constantly. I would have it on right now if it weren't in the laundry. You can also get everything in black, including a hoodie, which I so need to get for fall, but doesn't really help me fundraise if I buy all my own merchandise. So, yeah. Buy some hoodies so I can buy a hoodie. Or buy me a hoodie and send it to me. I'm kidding. Anyway, so yeah, the black shirts are called Lights Out Monster Brain, dedicated to all of those who suffer from light sensitivity, like I do. Extreme light sensitivity. I think you'll see on my blog today that I have a picture of myself with my dumb hair and my dark glasses, because I had to go out and about today, and yeah, we don't like light. Actually, all kinds of squinty because I have a light up here, so that you can see my pale visage. And yeah, so if you like it, if you're a mysterious goth person, or you just like black shirts because they're super slimming and classy, you can get one of those. And yeah, that's it. So support My Brains Hate Me. My Brain Hates Me. Well, hate works either way. Should I change the name of my blog? My brain's not working. Literally. Moving along. So I had an interesting doctor's appointment last Thursday, and I talked about it on my blog. And I thought I would talk about it here because it was super scary, and I feel like it's worth telling again. So I had an appointment with my neurologist to get Botox in my forehead, so I could kind of waggle my eyebrows a little bit. That's as much as they move now. My forehead is like, it doesn't move. Yeah. So I got Botox, and my doctor walked in to give me Botox. The first thing out of her mouth was, a couple of people with cerebral palsy have died after receiving Botox injections in their neck. They contracted pneumonia and died. This is as she was preparing needles to stick into my forehead, my temples, and my neck. I said, okay. And she said, yeah, they got pneumonia, and just because the Botox weakens the muscles in your neck, we think it might have weakened their respiratory system. So if you get any cold symptoms, you should maybe go to the doctor or the emergency room. I, who have chronic allergies and am probably allergic to half the herbal supplements that I'm supposed to take, per doctor's instructions to help my blood-brain barrier, always have cold symptoms. I always have a runny nose. I always have a sore throat. I always have a cough, a tragic Victorian cough. So, yeah, so there was that. We started with the death conversation. I then asked my doctor about trigeminal neuralgia. If you don't know what that is, it's a very painful condition. There are two types. One is periodic pain in the trigeminal nerve, which is a nerve that wraps around your head and then it goes around your face like this. Basically there. Yeah, I got it right. So it's a nerve and it comes from your ear and then it goes like that. So, well, I guess I should do it here because all my pain is on this side. There's all my pain. So, the atypical type of trigeminal neuralgia, or type 2 TN, is the type that happens all the time, and this is something that I want my doctor to rule out. So I asked my doctor if she could rule it out, and she talked about the fact that my symptoms don't really indicate trigeminal neuralgia because I have light sensitivity and nausea and tinnitus and overall body aches and pains and the stomach symptoms and all kinds of stuff that indicate like the status migrainosus that I've been diagnosed with and all of that stuff. So I said, but could it be an underlying cause that's triggering that stuff and we just don't know about it because there's all this other stuff layered on top? And she said that's absolutely a possibility, and therefore why don't we try you on a medication used to treat trigeminal neuralgia. We know it's not caused by a tumor in the trigeminal nerve because all of your MRIs have come back clean, and we'll see if this medication, oxcarbazepine, which I'm probably butchering, causes any lessening of your pain. I said, great, let's try it. So I'm on 150 milligrams of oxcarbazepine twice a day for 2 weeks, and then I bump up to 300 milligrams twice a day after that. Now, she did tell me that oxcarbazepine has 2 pretty terrible side effects. Remember, we started the doctor's appointment talking about death, and now we move on to the terrible side effects of the medication that she wants me to start. The first side effect is that it might suppress my bone marrow in some way. I didn't pay attention because as soon as she started talking about it messing with my bone marrow, I kind of shut down. And so I have to have my blood tested regularly to make sure that something is okay. So she had me do a lot of labs afterwards. It took a lot of blood. So it messes up your bone marrow. And oxcarbazepine can cause a deadly rash. A rash that can kill you. So that's super pleasant and exciting. Yeah, fun. The next question that I had for her was about the motherfucker gene. I call it the motherfucker gene because that's how I remember the letters. The letters are MTHFR, and a mutation in the motherfucker gene, or the MTHFR gene, has been shown to be linked to migraine and several other conditions. So there is currently no insurance coverage to be tested for this gene, and there are no approved gene therapies that have any scientific backing at this time, or supplement therapies that have any kind of documented, warranted, grounds, proof, whatever behind them at this time, according to my doctor. So my doctor said, don't even bother. It's expensive. Don't try. The chances of you having the mutation are high. And she did say, though, that if I have since the chances of me having the gene mutation are high, that the chances of me having this other thing called PFO, pulmonary foramen ovale, are high. Pulmonary foramen ovale, or PFO, is a hole in the heart. It's apparently something that happens. It's something that's a leftover at childbirth, and it's supposed to close up, but it doesn't close properly, so blood flows back and forth improperly in your heart, and it's been shown to be linked to migraine. Now, in many conditions, it's something that you don't notice your entire life, and you're fine, and you live a happy life, and everything's great. It can cause a mild heart murmur. Most of the time it's indetectable. Great. I am having an echocardiogram scheduled so that I can see if I have this PFO thing. The scary part is that my doctor wants me to have it sewn up if I do have a PFO. So if I have a hole in my heart, my doctor wants it sewn shut as soon as possible because she feels like because of the severity of pain that I live with every day, it will drastically improve the quality of my life. So that's scary. So we started with death, and then we led to the like possibility of my bone marrow being effed up, and then deadly rash, and then hole in my heart and heart surgery. So all in all, again, scary doctor's appointment. Not too cool. I've been so anxious about this deadly rash thing that I actually have a rash. I believe I have hives all over my chest and my back and my stomach. I have a rash. I've been taking Benadryl. Certainly anxiety caused. It's not a deadly rash. I will go to the emergency room if it gets any worse. I think I'm doing okay right now. Yeah, it hasn't really spread much more, but it's not. It's concerning and uncomfortable because it's itchy. I thought perhaps it might be due to a tank top that I purchased and I didn't wash before I wore it on Sunday. So I don't know. Not a My Brain Hates Me tank top, mind you. It was a tank top from a local establishment. So always wash before you wear, kids. Anything else? No, that's really it. That's all the updates from My Brain Hates Me. So if you feel like you're having negative or suicidal thoughts, I have lots of resources for you linked down below. If you are interested in becoming a delegate or interested in making a contribution to the powerofpain.org, I have lots of links for that down below. If you would like to get a My Brain Hates Me Monster Brain t-shirt with my original design, I have links for that down below. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, it's the same as it is here. It's just My Brain Hates Me. If you want to read my blog, that's linked. Please like my video. Please subscribe. And if you're not having a great day today, then there's always tomorrow. And if tomorrow isn't better, well, there's always the next day, week, or year. And hopefully I won't die of a deadly rash.